Hey guys, welcome to another new video in the first few minutes series. This is where I take a look at the first few minutes of a new customer journey. Today I'm going to be looking at Crafty Base with the tagline there, you didn't start creating so you could do inventory and bookkeeping all the time. So this is an all-in-one inventory management and finance software designed especially for handmade craft sellers. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the try for free and let's see how it goes. No credit card and no commitment required. Do you know, it's very rare now to see people asking for credit cards. I know it was a big thing when I had my SaaS back in 2013. All the indie makers, well, a lot of them were asking for credit card up front just to try and sort of weed out people who didn't have serious intent. But I think competition is such now that the market is saturated with every kind of SaaS, and it's very few asking for a credit card up front now, and personally I think that's okay. So start your 14-day free trial, no payment details required and absolutely no obligations. Okay, so you got their sign up form, they've removed all distractions, you got a little testimonial here. I think they could do a bit more with this, you know, maybe add a couple of testimonials and some businesses that are maybe using them. Okay, so the thing I always ask here is, are all of these fields necessary? Do I need all of these right now to get in and look at your software? Can you ask me for any of these later on or during onboarding? Because for every input field, for every extra input field you add, there's I think between a 6 and 10% drop-off rate. So with 5 input fields already, that's already significant, no, but you know, long enough. For example, the business name, I'm sure you could get that off me later, and maybe even the name, and you're asking me to confirm the password. You know, maybe that's not necessary, but anyway. So let's go with this. It would be really nice to be able to sign up with an existing platform, you know, Gmail or, you know, I dread to say Facebook, but something, you know, makes it so much easier and so much quicker. Okay, welcome, your account has been created. So this is obviously a welcome message here, or rather a notification message, but because the greens, I mean, they're both essentially greens. There's a blue, green, and a green. They fade into each other, so that and the color of that text on that green is the contrast there is very low. I think if you check that on any contrast checker, if you just type contrast checker into Google, I'm pretty sure that would probably fail. Okay, so welcome to Crafty Base. Your Crafty Base indie trial account is fully featured and will be available until. Nice to know. It's good. Before we begin, a little more information. Okay, so country, types of products, time zone, make a workflow. This helps us to recommend an optimal workflow for you. It's possible to use both workflows at the same time in Crafty Base, so select the workflow you tend to use most. I'll go with batch because that's the one that's pre-selected. One thing I would suggest here is just give a bit more space, give a bit more padding around here, because it's very bunched in and it makes it harder to read. So if you give more padding, top, left, right, it's not a problem here. And again, these fonts, these colors on these fonts, the contrast is very, very low and the font is very small. I don't know if that's like a 12, 14, 12, yeah, it's very small. Definitely want to bring that up. Accessibility problems you're sure to have. And you've got this button floating in the middle. I would either take it left or right, centered on a left aligned form. It just looks a little bit strange. Okay, so configure sales. Okay. Connect your sales channels. Connect your sales channels to Crafty Base read only to automatically import your listings orders into Crafty Base. Okay, so that's great to explain what goes on there. Okay, that was a bit weird. So I understand that, you know, the hand appears because it's an interactive element, but it's actually clickable and it reloads the page. So you might want to remove that interaction. It's a bit strange. Okay, your first import for each channel will run immediately after connection and will backdate to your nominated start date, the 25th of May, blah, 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 blah. Can I go without connecting anything? I can. Okay, nice. Welcome. Crafty Base is the only inventory book designed for small businesses who make their own products. Just before we dive in and get started, we'd like to explain a little more about our software. Now, one thing here, and I'm not going to try it because I'm scared, because most SaaS fail here. If I click close, because I don't want to go through the onboarding or the extra help, because I'm in a hurry and I'm lazy or whatever, I just want to jump in. Will that give me any kind of feedback? Will it say, hey, if you want to get back into the onboarding or the help at any point, you can find that up here in account details, walkthrough, or would you like to snooze this to later or something? Like I said, I'm scared to click on close because it will probably just close and that will be disappeared and that will be gone and I won't be able to experience this. So something to bear in mind for this. Okay, let's go. Again, you need to look at the contrast on these buttons. The white on the light blue is tricky. So what's it going to do for me? Let's go through a really quick, simple rundown of how real-time inventory. Okay. One thing here is I don't know how much stuff you're going to give me. So if you on that first screen, if you can let me know how many screens are coming, so I can either decide. I mean, if I've got 10 screens ahead of me, the chances are I am probably going to click off. And while you might think, well, we won't tell them because there are 10 screens. People are just going to get frustrated in the end. So I have a feeling, oh yeah, this is the last one. But just let them know anyway how many screens there are. Another thing here, you've got your email. Make that clickable. Don't make me have to copy and paste it into my email client. If you just make that clickable, then I can open it anyway. Although it's unlikely that I will use that now anyway. So help, FAQs, introduction, video walkthroughs. This is going to open in a new tab, right? Great. Okay. All right, let's get started. Okay, so get started with Crafty Base. So you go with the checklist walkthrough, which is nice. Create material, create product, blah blah blah. Dismiss. Okay. If I click on create material, you're now going to add your first material. These are the items that you use to create your products. Let's go to a new material, click on the materials tab. It's up in the top bar. Okay, that's great. Click on the materials tab. Now, I can see that is up here, sort of pulsing. But I probably wouldn't have seen it so quickly if you hadn't told me it was up in the top bar. So great job there. Okay, materials of the items. Okay, or add material. Okay, I'm going to cancel out of. Oh, fantastic! Well done. Return to guide. Start over. That's amazing. That's the first time I've seen that. I've done 20 reviews this month, and it's the first time I've seen anything like this with return to guide or start over. Fantastic. Pat on the back. One thing I would say about this screen here is because you've got it full width. There's nothing to limit the size, the width rather. So I've got it. I'm on a sort of 30-inch screen here, and I've got it going across from left all the way to right, and it makes it very uncomfortable to read and to scan. My eyes are going from here all the way over to here all the way to here. I'm guessing if you're on a laptop, a 13-inch or something, then that's probably fine. But these are things to bear in mind. Don't just design for one screen size. Typically it is difficult when you have a left-aligned SAS, as in your primary navigational elements up in the top left. So therefore, what do you do? Do you left-align everything? Do you center the content on the page? typically when we're looking at the laptop or we're looking at the monitor, we're looking straight ahead anyway. It's fine if you want to left align, it's fine if you want to center. Centering is more comfortable for the user in this case because we just look straight ahead. Again, we're as lazy as we can be. If we have to turn our head, it's already a pain. But if you want to left align, that's fine, but just make sure that everything is left aligned. As you can see here, there are huge gaps and it makes it difficult to see. Again, these fonts here, the colors, they're going to fail every single accessibility test you throw at it. Anybody with the faintest issue or problem with eyesight is not going to see any of this. And even the actual help icons, there's going to be people that struggle to see the help icons for the tooltip. So that's definitely something you need to look at. Okay, so that's great that this is still here. I'm really impressed with that guide. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to just have a quick look around. So I'm going to close that menu. So I'm just going to have a quick look around and see what we've got, because obviously a lot of people are going to, or some people choose to cancel the walkthrough. But in this instance, something like this, I think it'd be the majority of people would probably go through that because it's such a specific piece of software. So 14 days left in your free trial. Subscribe. Channels, no sales channels connected. Okay, that's because I didn't do that on the onboarding, so that's fine. What have we got here? Notifications. The line height on this is very squished down as well. You definitely want to increase the line height. It's actually quite difficult to read, and I think you've got it all in bold. Or maybe it's not. No, yeah, it is. It's in bold. It's in bold with a very small line height as well, so I definitely want to increase that. It's actually quite difficult to read. Nice that you've got an ebook here. Fantastic. Another way for people to get more value from the software and get more buy-in on what you guys are doing, so that's really good. Going to go ahead and dismiss all. Okay, fantastic. The notification goes. What's this? Get in touch. Nice. Okay. The only thing here with the get in touch thing is you're taking me out of the app and you're going to the website. Just because you're taking me away from the software, I would open this in a separate tab. Because if I start getting involved in this and maybe writing here on the chat and blah blah blah, or maybe I think, oh, actually, I'm just gonna have a look around at the review, whatever. I can get lost, and then there's difficult. Trying to translate from Spanish. It makes it more difficult to get back to the app where it was. So I would open that in a separate tab. Anyway, I think that definitely takes care of the first few minutes of a new customer journey. I'm really quite impressed. You've done a really good job with the walkthrough and letting people know that they can come back and restart, or even close it down, or take the steps. Definitely some things that you'll need to clear up, some of the things I pointed out already, but in general, I think it's a really good job. And like I said, you've done things here with the walk-on that I haven't seen in the last 20 or so reviews, so thumbs up and good job. All right, well, I hope this has been helpful. I will be back again tomorrow with another first few minutes review.